Hi, my name's Jacq, and I'm going to be telling you my testimony, which is an amazing testimony, and yeah, I can't stop smiling from it, and it's just amazing. Just the Lord's love, just how much He loves you, and each and every one of His children, and I'm a testament to that, as many are. And yeah, so I was brought up in a household that was ruled by anger, very domineering father, who was ruled by anger from his parents, so the pattern sort of carried on. So yeah, a very abusive household in certain aspects. And I remember sitting down and just like colouring. My mum took me to her friend Karen's house, and we were sat and we was colouring in the books, and I remember this voice just coming over me, shouting at me to colour in the lines, and I couldn't really grasp it as a child. I couldn't really understand it, and I remember saying to my mum, this voice shouting at me to colour in the lines, but there was so much going on, and a lot of things got dismissed. And yeah, so by the time I was 16, these voices had now sort of took root and was outweighing any thought that I possibly could have put to the front of my head. It was a daily battle of trying to bring me forward. These voices would overtake every aspect of who I was. And I took myself into every relationship that wasn't good in any possible way. There was no guidance. There was no look. There was nothing in it. It was very abusive, mentally, physically, sexually. Just relationships that sort of overtook, and I was like overshadowed by these voices and lost many things. Lost friends, and in the end lost my children at that point with everything that was happening. And yeah, I always knew there was a God, but I never thought there was a God. And I just remember I was in a situation where my mum, bless her, her partners were very domineering and ruled my mum no matter what they said when, even if it was breaking my mum's heart, what they said when. And I remember I was kicked out, late 16, just going into my 17s, and I remember thinking, right, this is it now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to live. I've got nowhere to go. I didn't know anybody. I was in a town where I didn't know anyone. And I sort of met someone that night and ended up staying with them. They took me in. He turned out to be a drug dealer. So another aspect of that world was opened up. So I made friends with the enemy. I made friends with drugs. I made friends with drink. I made friends with every enemy possible. And they overtook. And I remember just thinking, what's the point? The voices were telling me over and over, why are you here? You know, the labels that cling to you. You're not good enough. You'll never be good enough. You know, what was the point in you being here? And these are all man-made labels. These are all labels that do not come from a place of goodness. They come from the dark place. These labels you allow to stick to you, and you carry them from a child all the way up because you think you're not worth anything. So you walk around in this cloak with all these labels on you, and you carry them into every relationship you've got, into every aspect of your life. And then something amazing happens. And to me, a lot of people would say, that was tragic what happened. It was tragic. I remember being at this person's house, like I said, who took me in, and having a phone call and being told that my sister had been taken into hospital. And I just remember thinking, okay, Lord, I'm going to pray to you. I know you're there. I'm going to pray to you. And I remember I got to spend 5 beautiful days with her. We wasn't able to get hold of any other people in the family, but I just remember this strength coming from nowhere. And it sort of overtook me. I was able to do and work and function without any of the voices at that point. And it was, it's a sense of freedom in a way, but not a sense of freedom because of what was going on, but a sense of freedom from the mind. And we lost my sister Lisa, and she's with our Lord. So then I sort of stemmed back into them labels and got into even more worse relationships, but then I was given the blessing of children, but the labels, the voices and everything continued to attack to the point where my children was taken away from me, everything was taken away from me, and then the voices were back again, and yeah, the devil sort of really took a hold of me at that point, and he was like, right, that's it now. And my mum at this point, she'd met a lovely hairdresser lady called Gina, and she was telling me about our Lord and everything that our Lord had done, and I was like, yeah, that's nice for you, you know. The ears were listening, but the heart wasn't, and I was like, that's nice, and my mum just kept continuing to like plant seeds, to the point where my mum moved in with me to help me, like focus on getting things sorted, and we was decorating, and the voices were so bad at one point that I could not block anything, I could not bring anything forward, and there was this Stanley knife and it was just right in front of me, and the voice was like, pick it up, end it right now, and just pick it up. So there was sort of gathering, and it's really hard to explain, and I sort of picked up the knife and went to end it, and my mum was on the phone to a beautiful sister from the Lord, and she was praying, and I fell asleep. Out of nowhere, I fell asleep, and the Lord just was like, yup, you're not having her, and I fell asleep, and yeah, that's his love is so amazing. And so from then on, we spoke about what had been happening. I was able to open up and speak about the voices and speak about the labels and speak about everything that was happening to me and what was stopping me from being a mother, stopping me from being a person, stopping me from being who I needed to be. And don't get me wrong, doctors are amazing. We are to take medication, we're to do everything that we are to do. The Lord has given us doctors. He's given us the beautiful relief of the NHS. He's given us so much through medicine. And with me, when we went back, which is so amazing, it turned out I had a spiritual attack, and I'd been spiritual attacked from such a young age to the point where these voices I started off with 1 and ended up with 7. And these voices, they claimed me. That was it. They were claiming me. They didn't want to let me go. And we had so many sessions. I can't remember how many it was, but I just remember each session just feeling tired, and a sense of relief, and so these beautiful sister and brothers from Kingsgate Church who was with me on this journey continuously, praying for me, praying for these demons to be taken out of me, and just pursued over it and spoke the truth. Jesus is over you. Jesus is over you. He is sovereign. He's over you. You're going, and that is it. And that was it. They was taken. And then my life began. And it was like, okay, and the Lord tells me many times, okay, He is the author. He is the author, and when He comes to you and He's saying to you, listen to me, I'm going to take that cloak off that you have worn. All them labels, all them man-made labels that have stuck to you, that's false. There's no truth in that. And I'm going to cloak you in the truth. I'm going to cloak you in my armour. I'm going to cloak you in my love. And I'm never going to let you go, because you are mine. And you are going to begin. You're going to open the book of life, and I am your author, and you're going to live the life that was for you to be from the beginning. From the second our Lord put us in the womb, from the second He knitted us, He was saying, you're mine. But the labels that we allow to stick to ourselves continue. And the devil takes root, he takes hold. But what we need to remember is that the devil is nothing, and our Lord is sovereign over all. And I am so blessed. Every single day I am blessed. The Lord blesses us every single day in every aspect of life. We are to be obedient, but that's through love. Because Lord, He is love. And He wants to cloak you in that truth.